Hi everyone, I'm Ruchi Kulkarni and I'm bringing you the chapter Weathering the Storm in Ersama from Class 9 book Moments. And this chapter is written by Harsh Mandir. The title, Weathering the Storm, in itself means dealing with a difficult situation successfully. And this is what exactly this chapter talks about. This is about a young man, a 19-year-old person called Prashant, who experienced the cyclone that came in Orissa in October 1999. This natural disaster brought a lot of destruction in the people of that village, and that village was Ersama. But Prashant, being a courageous man, he decided to change the life of the victims. Let's read this chapter and understand what Prashant does at the end and how he becomes a ray of hope in everybody's life. After the reading and explanation, I will move on to the significance of the title, the moral of the story, and the question answers, and also summary in the written format. Now let's start with the session, but before we jump into reading and explanation, let's know something about its author, Harsh Mandir. Harsh Mandir was born on 17th April 1955. He is an Indian author, columnist, researcher, teacher, and social activist who started the Karwa-e-Mohabbat campaign in solidarity with the victims of communal violence. He is the director of the Center of Equity Studies. He served as Special Commissioner to the Supreme Court of India and was a member of the National Advisory Council. He has written and co-authored several books and regularly writes columns for newspapers. He has won Rajiv Gandhi National Sadbhavna Award for Peace Work, M.A. Thomas National Human Rights Award in 2002, the South Asian Minority Lawyers Harmony Award in 2012, the Chishti Harmony Award in 2012. He presently resides in New Delhi, India. The cyclone that hit Orissa in October 1999 killed thousands of people and devastated hundreds of villages. For 2 dreadful nights, Prashant, a young man, was marooned on the roof of a house. Marooned means stranded or left alone. On the third day, he decided to go to his village. Did he find his family? Let's know the answer to this question and let us know what he does eventually. On 27th October 1999, 7 years after his mother's death, Prashant had gone to the block headquarters of Ersama, a small town in coastal Orissa, some 18 kilometers from his village, to spend the day with a friend. In the evening, a dark and menacing storm quickly gathered. Menacing means harmful storm. Winds beat against the houses with a speed and fury that Prashant had never witnessed before. Fury means extreme strength. Heavy and incessant rain filled the darkness. Incessant means continuous. Ancient trees were uprooted and crashed to the earth. Screams rent the air as people and houses were swiftly washed away. Rent means filled up. The angry water swirled into his friend's house neck deep. Swirled means moved with a whirling motion. The building was of brick and mortar. Mortar is a mixture of lime, cement, sand, and water used to construct buildings, and was strong enough to survive the devastation of the wind's velocity of 350 km per hour. But the cold terror of the family grew with the crashing of trees that had got uprooted and fallen on their house, sometime in the middle of the night, damaging its roof and walls. It was the day of 27th October in the year 1999, and this day was after 7 years of Prashant's mother's death. Prashant had gone to a small town named Ersama, which was in the coastal area of Orissa, and it was some 18 kilometers away from his village. He had gone to Ersama to spend a day with a friend. But in the same evening, it had become so dark and cloudy that the weather started to become very horrible. It started to change. The storm began to pick up. There were huge and extreme winds that beat against the houses with high speed. There was continuous and heavy rain. The trees were getting uprooted. People were screaming because the water was entering their houses. Water had also entered Prashant's friend's house till the next level. But since Prashant's friend's house was very strong, it could tolerate the wind's speed and it did not break down. But in the middle of the night, there was one big terror when a tree fell on the roof of their house, damaging its roof and walls. The crazed destruction wrought by the cyclone and the surge of the ocean continued for the next 36 hours. Wrought means brought about, and surge means high rise or gush. Although wind speeds had reduced somewhat by the next morning, to escape the waters rising in the house, Prashant and his friend's family had taken refuge on the roof. Refuge means shelter. Prashant will never forget the shock he experienced at his first glimpse means look, of the devastation wrought by the super cyclone in the grey light of the early morning. A raging, deadly, brown sheet of water covered everything as far as the eye could see. Raging means forceful, and deadly means dangerous. Only fractured cement houses, fractured means broken, still stood in a few places. Bloated animal carcasses and human corpses floated in every direction. Bloated means swollen, carcasses means dead body of animals, and corpses means dead body of humans. All round, even huge old trees had fallen. Two coconut trees had fallen on the roof of their house. This was a blessing in disguise. A blessing in disguise is an unlucky event that has good results. Because the tender coconuts from the trees kept the trapped family from starving in the several days that followed. This destruction, which was brought by the cyclone, lasted for about 36 hours. Although the wind speeds had reduced till the next morning, Prashant and his friend's family had taken shelter on the roof because they wanted to escape the flood waters. On the roof, when Prashant was standing there, when it was morning time, he looked everywhere, all around. He could only see brown sheet of water, means brown colored flood water flowing everywhere. And all he could see was that all the houses were destroyed, the trees were uprooted. He could see dead bodies of animals and human beings floating on the water. It was a terrible sight. But fortunately or luckily, two coconut trees had fallen on the roof of house. And this in a way was a blessing in disguise. That is an unfortunate event which had a very good result. It was good, it was beneficial for that family because they could eat those tender coconuts of the trees to keep them alive or keep them from starving in the several days which followed the cyclone. For the next 2 days, Prashant sat huddled. Huddled means together in a group, with his friend's family in the open on the rooftop. They froze in the cold and incessant rain. The rainwater washed away Prashant's tears. The only thought that flashed through his mind was whether his family had survived the fury of the super cyclone. Flashed through his mind means came to his mind. Was he to be bereaved once again? Bereaved means lost someone to death. He feels like that because he had already lost his mother, and now he feels that will his other family members will also die and leave him all alone. 2 days later, which seemed to Prashant like 2 years, the rain ceased. Ceased means stopped, and the rainwater slowly began to recede. Recede means reduce. Prashant was determined to seek out his family without further delay. But the situation was still dangerous, and his friend's family pleaded with Prashant to stay back a little while longer. Pleaded means requested. But Prashant knew he had to go. He equipped himself with a long, sturdy stick. Sturdy means strong, and then started on his 18-kilometer expedition back to his village through the swollen flood waters. Expedition means journey. It was a journey he would never forget. He constantly had to use his stick to locate the road to determine where the water was most shallow. Shallow means not deep. At places it was waist deep and progress was slow. At several points he lost the road and had to swim. After some distance he was relieved to find two friends of his uncle who were also returning to their village. They decided to move ahead together. Prashant stayed with his friend's family for the next 2 days on the rooftop. The wind was very cold and there was continuous rain. But Prashant was only thinking about his family members who were there back in his village. He was worried whether they were all alive or had he lost them. After 2 days, which Prashant felt like 2 days were like 2 years for him, the rain had stopped and the rainwater had been reduced. So Prashant decided to go back to his village. Although Prashant's friend and his family tried to stop him and tried to hold him back for some more days because it was dangerous, Prashant did not agree with that. He took a big stick and he started to walk. He had to walk 18 kilometers back to his village through those flood waters, and that walk was not very easy. He could not forget that journey because while he was walking, there were places where the water was waist deep, and there were several points where he had lost the road, so he had to swim. After going to some distance, he saw two people who were friends of his uncle and they were also returning to their village. He felt so good and they all decided to move ahead together. As they waded through the waters, waded means walked, the scenes they witnessed grew more and more macabre. Macabre means disturbing because concerned with fear of death. They had to push away many human bodies, men, women, children, and carcasses of dogs, goats, and cattle that the current swept against them as they moved ahead. In every village that they passed, they could barely see a house standing. Prashant now wept out loud and long. He was sure that his family could not have survived this catastrophe. Catastrophe means disaster. Eventually, Prashant reached his village, Kalikuda. His heart went cold. Where their home once stood, there were only remnants of its roof. Remnants means remains. Some of their belongings were caught, mangled, and twisted in the branches of trees just visible above the dark waters. Mangled means stuck. Young Prashant decided to go to Red Cross shelter to look for his family. Now, as Prashant and two of his uncle's friends walked through the flood waters, the scenes that they saw became more and more horrible, and they inculcated or they brought about a fear of death in all of them. They felt very sad when they saw human bodies of men, women, children floating in the water. They saw dead bodies of dogs, goats, cattle, all of them coming towards them as they moved through the water. Prashant could not hold for very long and he wept. He cried because he was really feeling so stressed out. He was so worried whether he would really find his family members or not. Whether they had survived this disaster or not was his biggest worry. Eventually, Prashant reached his village. The name of his village is Kalikuda. But when he reached his village, he had a shock. He saw that his home was all broken down. There were only a few remains of its roof. His belongings were all caught up or twisted in the branches of the tree, and one could see them, or he could recognize those things through the dark waters of the flood. Young Prashant then decided to go to the Red Cross shelter where he thought he will find his family members. Among the first people he saw in the crowd was his maternal grandmother. Maternal means belonging to mother's side. Weak with hunger, she rushed to him, her hands outstretched, her eyes brimming. Outstretched means she stretched her hands, and her eyes were brimming means they were full of tears. It was a miracle. They had long given him up for dead. This line means that they had thought that Prashant was dead. Quickly word spread, and his extended family gathered around him and hugged him tight in relief. Prashant anxiously scanned the motley, battered group. Motley means desperate, and battered means injured group. His brother and sister, his uncles and aunts, they all seemed to be there. By the next morning, as he took in the desperate situation in the shelter, he decided to get a grip over himself. To get a grip over oneself means to control oneself, to stand up and face the situation. He sensed a deathly grief settling upon the 2,500 strong crowd in the shelter. 86 lives were lost in the village. All the 96 houses had been washed away. It was their fourth day at the shelter. So far, they had survived on green coconuts, but there were too few to go around such a tumult of people. Tumult means uproar of a disorderly crowd force. When Prashant reached the Red Cross shelter, he was so happy to see his people around him. The first one whom he saw was his maternal grandmother. She was hungry. She rushed to him with her hands stretched out, and her eyes were filled with tears. Prashant's family thought that it was a miracle because they all felt that he must have been dead by now. And soon all the family members gathered around him. They hugged him tight in relief. Prashant could see all his brothers, sisters, uncles, and aunts, and all of them were there, but they were very desperate and they were injured. On the next morning, when he looked at the situation in the shelter, he was not very happy. He thought that he should do something. He could sense that there was a grief which was settling upon 2,500 people who were in their shelter. 86 people had died in the cyclone, and all the 96 houses which were in the village, they were all washed away, they were all destroyed. It was the fourth day at the shelter. People were eating green coconuts, but then not many coconuts were left that could suffice the entire crowd. Prashant, all of 19 years, decided to step in as leader of his village if no one else did. He organized a group of youths and elders to jointly pressurize the merchant once again to part with his rice. Pressurize means to force someone. This time, a delegation succeeded and returned triumphantly. Delegation means a small group which is given some kind of a task, and triumphantly means victoriously, wading through the receding waters with the flood for the entire shelter. No one cared that the rice was already rotting. Branches from fallen trees were gathered to light a reluctant and slow fire on which to cook the rice. For the first time in 4 days, the survivors at the cyclone shelter were able to fill their bellies. Bellies means stomachs. His next task was to organize a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter of filth. Filth means dirt, urine, vomit, and floating carcasses, and to tend to the wounds and fractures of the many who had been injured. When Prashant looked at the situation in the shelter, he was obviously very unhappy. He was only 19 years old, but he wanted to step in as a leader of his village and he wanted to control that situation. He wanted to organize a few things. So he made a group of youths and elders and he told them to pressurize the merchant to give them some rice. In this, they succeeded and they made rice for everyone. For the first time in these 4 days, people living in the shelter could eat as much to satisfy their hunger. They could eat which filled their stomachs. Now, Prashant's next task was to organize a team of youth volunteers who could clean that shelter. That shelter had become very dirty because of urine, vomiting, then floating dead bodies. So, that had to be taken care of. And another responsibility was to look after the injured people. So he made this group of young people who could tend to the wounds, who could look after or dress the wounds of the people and fractures of the injured people. On the fifth day, a military helicopter flew over the shelter and dropped some food parcels. It then did not return. The youth task force gathered empty utensils from the shelter. Then they deputed the children to lie in the sand left by the waters around the shelter with these utensils on their stomachs to communicate to the passing helicopters that they were hungry. The message got through, and after that, the helicopter made regular rounds of the shelter, airdropping food and other basic needs. Airdropping means dropping from the helicopter through the air. On the fifth day, people could see a military helicopter which flew over that shelter and it dropped a few food parcels, but they were not enough. And after that, that helicopter did not return. So these people had an idea. They made children lie down on the sand with empty utensils on their stomach just to give or just to communicate to the helicopters that they were hungry. The message got through to the helicopters successfully, and after that, the helicopters made regular rounds of the shelter and dropped food and other basic needs on them. Prashant found that a large number of children had been orphaned. Orphaned means children whose parents are dead. He brought them together and put up a polythene sheet shelter for them. Women were mobilized to look after them. Mobilized means told or activated. While the men secured food and materials for the shelter. As the weeks passed, Prashant was quick to recognize that the women and children were sinking deeper and deeper in their grief. Grief means sorrow. He persuaded means convinced the women to start working in the Food for Work program started by an NGO, and for the children he organized sports events. He himself loved to play cricket, and so he organized cricket matches for children. Prashant engaged with other volunteers in helping the widows and children to pick up the broken pieces of their lives. To pick up the broken pieces of their lives means to get their life together, to have control over their life. Stop grieving and starting to find some light or ray of hope in their life. Prashant found that a lot of children had lost their parents. Their parents were dead. So he brought all of them together and he put up a polythene sheet kind of a shelter for them. He told women to take care of these orphan children while he told all the men to help in securing food and materials for the shelter. And like this, many weeks passed. But he could see that these women or these children could not come out of their emotional disbalance. They were not getting out of their grief, their sorrow. So, in order to convince them, in order to make their life better, he convinced the women that they should start working in the Food for Work program, which was started by an NGO. Then he indulged all the children in some sports events so that they are mentally diverted. Prashant was helped by other volunteers in helping all these widows. Widow is a woman who has lost her husband, and these orphan children to gain some happiness in their life so that they could forget what they had lost, they could forget their grief and sorrow. The initial government plan was to set up institutions for orphans and widows. However, this step was successfully resisted. Resisted means opposed, as it was difficult that in such institutions children would grow up without love and widows would suffer from stigma and loneliness. Stigma means disgrace. Prashant's group believed orphans should be resettled in their own community itself, possibly in new foster families made up of childless widows and children without adult care. Foster families are families that adopt orphan children. It is 6 months after the devastation of the super cyclone. This time, Prashant's wounded spirit has healed simply because he had no time to bother about his own pain. His handsome youthful face is what the widows and orphan children of his village seek out most in their darkest hour of grief. Prashant was a very generous and a sensitive person, and he really felt for these widows, women whose husbands had died, and these children whose parents had died. So he wanted to give a good life to these widows and orphans so that they could come out of their sorrowful life. The initial government plan was they will set up institutions for orphan, but this plan was opposed because they felt that if children go to an orphanage, they will grow up without love. And these widows will also suffer from some kind of disgrace and loneliness. On the other hand, Prashant's group believed that if these orphans were adopted in their own community itself, possibly by those families who were now childless, if they could adopt these orphan kids, then it would be much better. If this same community adopts the widows uh, to take care of them, then it will be a nice idea. It was about 6 months after the devastation, after this terrible disaster of super cyclone. But Prashant's wounded spirit, that is his broken heart, was completely healed just because he was all the time taking care of others. And he was so much into taking care of others that he had no time to think about his own pain, of his own loss. But his handsome face, his young face, had always been an inspiration to all these widows and orphan children for whom he worked day and night, for whom he thought about so much. And for all of them, for all of these people, he was like a ray of hope in the darkest hour of grief or sorrow. The title can be interpreted on two levels. First, literally facing a cyclonic storm, and second, facing emotional upheavals. In this story, we find both aspects as we read the remarkable story of Prashant, who was a survivor of the super cyclonic storm that struck coastal Odisha in 1999. He lost several members of his village, but showed immense courage and resourcefulness to ensure that the survivors did not have to depend on government help alone for survival, but they took care of their own needs themselves. And therefore, I feel that this title, Weathering the Storm in Ersama, is appropriate in both literal as well as in the symbolic terms. The message or moral given by the story is that even a single person is capable of bringing about a great change with courage, determination, and selflessness. And it also highlights the importance of community in helping to deal with a calamity. So, if you are caught up in a situation which requires your initiativeness, your leadership qualities, or your help to others in whatever way you can, you must help others. You must help the humanity, the community that we live in, and also yourself. That's all in my this session today, and I'll see you again in my next video with a new topic. Till then, take good care of yourself. Don't forget to note the question answers and the summary in the written form that I'm going to flash right after this. Take care. God bless you. Thank you very much. Keep smiling.